players lined up? Is that
Actually, rather than thinking about concern, we're really very pleased with the fact that before launch, and I'm not sure that any other network of this nature had the kind of distribution that we had before launch. Obviously, AT&T Uverse was on board as early as the day we announced way back a year ago. And now with Dish on board, we can say to all of our fans and folks who are interested in the network that the network is now available to everybody. If your provider doesn't provide the network, then you can, if you switch to Dish, you've got the network. So the decision now is, with our fans and the people out there and our consumers. What thing makes me comfortable now is the fact that it's available to everybody. And hopefully we're in some quality conversations with all the other major distributors over the next several months, and we remain optimistic that we'll at some point in time have full distribution. I think it's unrealistic to think we'll have full distribution at the time we launch on the 14th of August, but I think the kind of programming that we have available, for example, the first weekend. Well, first of all, we're going to put 1,000 events on the network, between the network itself and the digital network. But the first weekend, we're Thursday night, the 28th, we got a doubleheader with South Carolina and A&M, and then Temple and Vanderbilt. Then we got 3 games Saturday. Then we're going to play Sunday night. Tennessee going to play Utah State. So the first weekend we'll have 6 games. The next weekend, I think we're going to have 6 games, and the first month, every single school will be on, and I think those games will be at home. So then we're going to have the SEC Nation, which is our game day. That'll rotate amongst all of our institutions before, and we'll have, that's Joe Tessitore as the host with Tim Tebow and Greg McElroy, and others will be Paul Feinbaum. And that'll be, so that we're creating something. I think from day one we wanted to be a national network. With Brent Musburger, as our primary play-by-play, that's a signal that we wanted to be national. We're going to be national, and it's my hope that that the programming will be so significant that everybody will want to carry it.
Several of the football coaches came out and said there's unanimous support for an early signing period. It's the first Monday in December. Is the league going to be making a recommendation?
Well, we have at the league. Let me go back a little bit in history. My recollection is that this came up twice, at least twice at the CCA, which runs the national letter, and on both occasions we opposed an early signing date. It's come back again. We have not had a discussion at the AD level yet, or as to whether or not we want to change our position. Our concern has been that an early signing date means that the signing date's in football season, and one of the things that I think may not be thought about is that, and that's not to say we won't support, I don't know where we're going to come out, but one of the things you have to think about is an early signing date means the football season, that means a different summer, that means a different spring. You're just going to, with the early signing date becomes the primary signing date like in basketball, and the question then is, are we going to be willing to make other changes that will accompany an early signing date? I think we need to vet that out and see if the conference wants to change its position. But up to now, the conference has been opposed to it.
How much, Mike, would this be impacted by the seeming consensus among other conferences that they want some sort of early signing period?
Well, in the CCA, the last 2 times we voted on it, the majority voted not to have an early signing date. So, because all conferences vote, it's not just a couple of conferences. So, I think you've got to think about everybody, and so far at the CCA level, they haven't been able to get it passed. But we opposed it, and we were vocal about opposing it. Obviously, if our football coaches want to recommend an early signing date and our athletic directors are comfortable with it, notwithstanding the arguments against it, then obviously the conference will take a different position, but we aren't there yet.